Hello everyone, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you are returning, thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate y'all bearing with me. I ended up hurting my back. I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before, so I've had to take some time out to just recover. So it's been a minute since I've checked in with you guys to see how everything's going. And today we want to get some messages from Spirit. So this is going to be Spirit's guidance for you at the time that you're tuning into this reading. I have 3 pile choices for you all today. And each pile has a crystal to help you tune into your readings. For pile number 1, we have Carnelian. And this card here. For pile number 2, we have green Fuchsite. And for pile number 3, we have, it's kind of like very pale green fluorite, almost clear fluorite. All right, so use your intuition to guide you into which reading. There may be more than one pile that you're drawn to. If that's the case, you may have messages in both piles or all 3 piles. Just use your intuition. The timestamps will be listed in the description box below, and I'll see you all at your readings. Hello everyone who was drawn to pile number 1. You were drawn to this image and the carnelian crystal. I have already pulled a few oracle cards. We're going to look at those at towards the end of your reading. We're going to go ahead and pull a few more oracle cards and some tarot. So these are messages from Spirit, your guidance for today. Got a few different decks we're going to use here. Guidance from Spirit. What is Spirit's guidance for pile number 1? Let me pick those up. Hang on. Okay. Got a good bit of those. Let's see what else. Let's get one of these. And let's do one of these, please, Spirit. Just one, please. The bottom of the deck. Okay. And let's try one of those. Okay, we said 3, please. Alright. Let's go ahead and see what these say. Actually, first, let me tell you about the image that you were drawn to. So this card here represents the past, the present, and the future. So we have the ending of something, lessons learned, something that you've overcome, closing the door to the past, and then opening up the door to a new beginning, a new start, one that's going to help you grow to your fullest potential. I feel like you've learned a lot of lessons when you look back at things that you have been through, what you've overcome, how much you've grown. And that's really the only reason to even look towards the past. Like it's the end of a lesson, the end of an era, the end of a chapter, the end of a cycle. Something is ending for you. And it's time for you to close that book, to close that chapter, to say goodbye to this version, this story, this narrative, and to open up this door that's right over here waiting for you. And look at the light that's coming in from this door. And then we have this other book that's at the very beginning, yet to be written. So there's something new, something you're unlocking, a new beginning for yourself. And we have this beautiful tree here that's growing. I also feel like Spirit's telling you to be more focused on the present moment, letting go of the past, no longer looking towards the past for any, you know, out of fear, or having anything from the past repeat in the future, like letting go of anxiety, feeling more grounded, more rooted, more connected with your truth and your center and your heart space here. I also feel like something new is coming in, something maybe that you've been manifesting, something you've been visualizing, something you've been focusing on. But I feel like you've done a lot of healing, a lot of reflecting. Okay, if y'all hear any noises in the background, one of the little kitties has come up here to get a snack, so I hope that's not too loud. All right, let's see what your, and you have card number 26, which reduces to an 8. This is about cycles, growth, abundance, achievement, strength, shifting timelines, which is awesome because we do have this new door that's opening for you, this new beginning. Okay, do we want to keep her in the center, or do we want to move her over? Ooh, there may be a stronger connection to your feminine energy here. More wisdom. I feel like you're more wise. You're able to see things now. You're able to understand, you know, the parts. When you reflect on the past, you have that wisdom of understanding. Let's actually center her here. Okay, let's get these. We have, the dragon, strength and wisdom, confirmation coming through about your wisdom. All right, let me check to make sure you guys can see these. Let's move them over just a little bit. Just want to keep them on the camera here. Okay, that looks good. What else we have? Water. Confirmation about the divine feminine here. Emotions are at their peak. Okay, so I feel like you're being asked to go with the flow. There may be something, like I was saying, that you've been focusing on, something you've been visualizing on, something that you've been, you know, growing, holding focus. Yeah, it's all about manifestation here. So something new is coming in for you. And you're being asked to be open to receive here. Closed off, guarded. Maybe in the past, yeah, you were a little guarded, a little closed off. Yeah, a little bit of wounds, a little bit of healing. Okay, yeah, you've been processing some old wounds, some old emotions. That's the healing journey that you are on. Storm. Yeah, emotional turmoil. And then we have self-care. Yeah, good for you. You've been taking care of yourself, going within, bringing that healing, nurturing energy. So you probably felt a little isolated, a little closed off from everyone. Taking some time out to just take care of yourself and focus on yourself, which is why you've been reflecting on the past. Perhaps you've been going within and trying to understanding the patterns, or trying to heal from some unresolved wound or trauma, or just old emotions that may have been repeating or coming up in your mind, that may have kept you feeling like you were stuck. You know, just old wounds. But there's this cleansing that's taking place for you, which is why it's the end of this cycle, the end of a chapter, because of the work that you've been doing. And Spirit's honoring all the time that you've taken out to practice that self-care, to nurture yourself, to protect yourself. Yeah, I feel like you've withdrawn a lot in order to do this healing work with yourself. maybe something triggered this, you know. You could have gone through, you know, a breakup or an argument or something that triggered a wound from the past, and that has brought you to this place where you're at now, where you have gone through some healing and cleansing and understanding of some of your some of the things from the past maybe that have been coming up into your awareness. But I feel like because you've taken that time out to nurture yourself and to love yourself and to care for yourself, you are ready to move on and to move forward. Lost, wounded, not feeling enough. Okay, so there's the wound. That's what you've been healing, is not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, feeling left out. Perhaps you've been missing someone. This could have been within a relationship even. And we have let go of what could have been. Grief often hides in the story of what didn't happen. Release the almost and return to the now. Okay. And so we have this woman. She's holding this little teddy bear in her hand. So there's been a lot of emotional healing, of reflecting on the emotional wounds, and I feel like it's something that has to do with childhood, because we have this little girl who's holding on to this little her teddy bear. So it has something to do with not feeling good enough in the past, you know, or something that you may have wished for, wish would have worked out. Perhaps you were looking for somebody to nurture you in a certain kind of way. Maybe you didn't feel like your emotions were nurtured properly. And that comes from not feeling good enough, you know. And I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like some of you may have had a parent who may have passed on when you were younger, and so there's a lot of mourning, missing them, wishing that they could have been there for your childhood, because you needed their support, you needed their love and attention, their guidance. And Spirit wants you to let that go, because there's something awaiting you here in the future, something, that a door that you need to step into. Your path is calling you. I'm so sorry, pile number 1. This could also be, I feel like, a sibling. Ooh. And then I'm also feeling like someone's lost a child here as well. Ooh, and that's pretty heavy. So I can definitely understand having the loss of a child, how that can keep you in this wound for a long time, because grief isn't something that you know, you can easily heal from. It's something that you almost carry with you every day. And know that you are very, very strong. And as hard as that is, you know, like, there's some things that people can't say that's ever going to heal that wound. And it's something that you, unfortunately, it's something where you learn to carry both grief and love at the same time. Because not, like, there's this knowing, like, you know, you have the wisdom to know that you can't change anything. Nothing was your fault. That you can't bring them back, you know, and you won't get to have them in this physical form, in this physical reality. But they are still, it's not like they're ever gone forever. They're just in a different form of energy. They're not on this physical plane and a physical body. They still exist. They're still around in an energetic forms. Some of you may see them coming to you in, you know, sometimes when you're out in nature, or if you, sometimes in your dreams, they can come to you in your dreams, or send you signs, messages through music. Maybe you had a memory that you shared with one another, and there's just little synchronicities that come up into your in your life, in your day, in your reality, where you can intuitively know that they're with you, that they're communicating to you, that they're letting you know that they are okay, and they want you to move forward. They want you to continue living your life, even when it's very, very hard to do so. You know, to press on, to move forward, to fulfill your mission here. And they were called back, you know. They came here to accomplish certain things, and their timeline was a certain time frame. And so if Spirit said, I need you to come here, and they signed those contracts, they agreed to come and to fulfill their missions, it's time for them to, you know, to move on and transform and to fulfill their next lesson in life, their next mission in life. You know, and that's not easy to hear, you know, and it's not, in no ways is going to make anything better for you. But just know that I'm sending you the biggest hug, and you are definitely supported. It's being acknowledged that your loss and your grief is being acknowledged, and Spirit wants you to bring your awareness back to the now and to focus on yourself, healing yourself, loving yourself, practicing self-care, nurturing yourself, nurturing your wounds, your heart, to be more in the present moment. Just because you are finding ways to enjoy life doesn't mean that your time with this individual or that this had no meaning, you know, or that you're to feel guilty because you maybe have a little bit of fun in your life or something like that. Your loved one, they don't want you feeling that way. Spirit doesn't want you feeling that way. You have to, unfortunately, it's not like move on in the sense that it's moving forward and no longer looking to the past in that way, but only looking to the past to gain the wisdom and the knowledge from it, and to learn from it, and to move forward, and to carry on. You know, you parted ways because their path, their direction's going this way, and it's time for them to go do this now. But your path still is continuing on in this realm, and so you have to finish what you came here to do before you guys can meet up again. All right? For those of you where I'm not really getting too much of a partnership relationship that may come out in the rest of these, take what resonates for you. But that's the energy, that's what I'm feeling coming through these cards here. All right, let's see if we have any more. More positive. We have angel. Your angels are guiding and protecting you on your spiritual journey. See, and I feel like this is your loved one coming through, saying they are with you, they're guiding you, they're supporting you, they love you. And this is number 2. And this is about partnership and love and harmony. But I feel like they're letting you know that they are watching over you. We have beware, be careful who you trust at this time. Like this is you protecting your heart. And then we have marriage. Okay. You're attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. So now we have a partnership coming out. So some of you could have, this could have been a loved one. This could have been, but I feel, I don't know, I feel like with the child here, or with the young woman who's holding the teddy bear, I definitely feel like it's more of a child here versus you know, somebody's partner. You're attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. I feel like this is the healing, and perhaps you've been protecting your heart. You've been nurturing your heart, practicing that self-care, setting healthy boundaries. And this could be those of you, all right, I'm hearing you. All right, Spirit is saying that, yes, some of you, this does have to do with a relationship partner where things just didn't work out. Somebody may have betrayed you. Somebody may have taken you for granted and broken your heart. And it may have triggered an old childhood wound of not feeling good enough, right? And so you have been taking some time out. And if you haven't, Spirit's saying take some time out to protect yourself, to nurture yourself, to heal yourself. It's time for you to move on from this experience, to move on from your loss, to let go of what shoulda, coulda, woulda. Because things, if they were meant to work out, they would have, you know? And so to let go of what didn't, because there's something new coming in for you, all right? We have this something that's going to make you feel great. It's going to make you feel loved. It's going to make you feel supported, nurtured, cared for, seen. Spirit's protecting you. Spirit's guiding you. Allow Spirit to guide you to something that's meant to be. And we have your greatest work, your legendary legacy. I love that. So we have this book here, right? So there's this new chapter of your life is about to unfold. But you have to let go of the past. You have to let go of this emotional, you know, baggage, unfortunately. I mean, for those of you where this is like your child, of course, this isn't something that's just easily, you know, healed from. Take your time, nurture yourself, love yourself through this process, whatever you need to do. But don't spend too much time here in the grief, all right? Because this can take you to a really low place where, you know, and I have friends, I have people who've been through this, so it's not something that's very easy, and it takes years for you to get to a place where you feel on solid ground, but you never, you know, not miss them. Like through every holiday, through every birthday, through songs on the radio, through, you know, the different things that will trigger your memories of them. But don't let them, you know, allow yourself to feel your, you know, the emotions. Don't deny them and repress them in any way. But try to shift your perspective and being loving and saying, I am so grateful for the time I had with this individual, with them. They have taught me so much. They brought so much love into my life. I'm so grateful for the time we got to be together and the memories that we shared, and I will never forget this. And you carry them with you in your heart everywhere you go, you know, and speak to them, have conversations with them, let them know that you care, or even ask for signs and symbols to let them know that they're okay and that they're around you and supporting you, and then open your heart to receiving those signs, all right? But there's something about, for those of you with this relationship where this has been somebody who's hurt you in the past, that was a partner, there's something new coming in. There's a new beginning for you, a new opportunity for love. Okay, what do we have? Ooh, we got magic. I love that we have that with the dragon. And the rooster is just sounding off, you know. Take action. That's that masculine, you know. They're like, wake up, see the signs. There's a new beginning awaiting for you, a new dawn. You also have mystery, so there's something coming in. Something magical that you might not even be aware of. Something unseen. Ooh, and it's going to be something that brings in good cheer, something that's going to make you feel so uplifted, so happy. And we have these two individuals walking together. This could be a supportive friend. This could be spirit guiding you, a wish fulfillment, a new partner. It says, with kind heart and humor free, may good cheer rule. So mote it be. This can also be a new perspective coming in for you. Something that shifts. Something that moves you forward. An idea, A new perspective, new clarity comes in. Seeing things from a different perspective even. Oh, and look, we have passion. Rise, passion, rise up high, inflame my purpose, reach the sky. Ooh, a new partnership is coming in. We have card number 11. I don't think there's anything inappropriate there. Let's see. Card number 2 here, also an 11. You know, awakening to new passions, something that's going to be exciting, something that's going to light you up. It's going to make you feel loved. It's going to make you feel supported, make you feel seen. This can also be having a better relationship with yourself, you know, understanding why you may have felt, you know, not good enough, and healing those wounds from the past. Understanding where it came from, where did it originate from, and healing that. And that comes from the self-care, loving yourself, giving yourself the love that you may have felt like you didn't receive from outside sources, and you learning to give it to yourself and filling your cup so that you have more joy, more love, more appreciation for yourself, which then helps you attract a partner who sees and validates the way that you treat yourself. They mirror that to you. They reflect to you the love that you deserve, that you know you're worthy of. What else do we have? We have best possible decision. Look at that. Artemis, goddess of the bow, help me see what must be known. So I feel like Spirit is saying like this was the best possible outcome for all of you. You made the right decision. For those of you where this has to do, and where it involves you in a partnership that just didn't work out, and things ended in the way that made you feel, you know, see yourself or the situation in negative light. Spirit's saying that this was the best possible decision. And for those of you where this involves you losing somebody that you miss, that you're still grieving on, you know, this is Spirit saying, asking you to ask for support, to ask your angels, to ask your guides, you know, to help you to see things in a different way, to see things from your heart space so that you can move on, so that you can move forward. And bringing more love into the situation, more understanding. I feel like there's something coming in, like with the mystery here. I feel like there's going to be some type of blessing coming in for you. Those of you who've been manifesting something, there's something coming in. We have patience. It takes time for miracles to happen, and I am okay with it. Ooh. The angels remind you that in order to succeed, you must learn how to control your impatience and wait until the right outcome you deserve comes along. Okay, so some of you have been manifesting a relationship for yourself, right? And Spirit's saying that allow the magic to happen. Stay in your divine feminine and go with the flow. Something is coming in. Somebody's going to be coming into your reality, into your world. It's going to make you feel loved. It's going to be filled with so much passion, so much happiness and joy. Oh, look, and you have love. And we got Cupid here. I give my heart ready to receive the heart of another. The angels are supporting your relationship and want to remind you of the importance of giving love and support to your partner. Spend time with your loved ones and balance your affection in a healthy way. Okay. So some of you are going to be receiving new love, a new partner. And you're being asked to have patience and allow it to unfold on its own. And those of you who have been grieving, it's time to move forward and step into the new chapter of your life. Your greatest work is your legendary legacy. And that is 6, your home life, creating a nurturing space, a nurturing environment, family, harmony, love, balance, healing. All right, trust where you're being guided, pile number 1. A new chapter of love, a new chapter is waiting for you. Make sure that you are open and paying attention to the signs and synchronicities. Some of you, with the new love, this new chapter for you, make sure that you aren't, repeating any old mistakes or any old patterns. You don't want to fall for the same type of relationship you just got out of. So pay attention for them red flags, set them healthy boundaries, and know your worth and your value so that you are attracting an equal partnership. Okay. Let me get you one final card here. Let's get one of these heart cards. Okay. Wow. It says, I open new doors to life. I trust that my inner guide is leading me and guiding me in ways that are best for me. My spiritual growth is continually expanding. I love that for you guys. Let's get one more. New doors of opportunity for growth and healing. Trust your intuition. Trust your soul. Listen to your heart, okay? All right, we have this one. I am in the process of becoming my own best friend, the person I am most happy to be with. Ooh. Loving myself unconditionally means accepting what is. In loving myself, I help create a world where it is safe for us to love each other. Beautiful confirmation coming through about how to love yourself, take care of yourself, nurture yourself so that you attract that type of love in your life, right? And letting go and accepting what is and what you can't change. And know that everything is according to the divine plan, even if we don't understand. And, it brings some sadness to us of what could have been, if only, And that's the thing. It's like, I've experienced loss too in different ways. And I understand how sometimes it can get you trapped in that process of, feeling lost, feeling lonely, feeling abandoned, feeling unloved and unsure, and questioning, if only I'd have done this or said this, or maybe if they would have just done this or allowed me to say this, those kinds of things. And you can get stuck in that place for a long time, and you just have to eventually, you'll come to that place of acceptance and realizing that, if they wanted to change, and then they would, and no matter what you could have done or didn't do, things would have been the same way. Just, if you were meant to be together, you would, and this is how it's meant to be, and try to understand what lessons you may be learning from this experience to help prepare you for the future ahead, okay? That is the best guidance I can give you all. Alright, you guys, thank you all so much for tuning into my channel today. I hope this reading brings you some kind of help or clarity, support and guidance from Spirit. I'm sending you all my love. Please like and subscribe if this reading resonated with you. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story, or just let me know that pile number 1 was your reading. I'm sending you all so much love. Take care and have a blessed day. Pile number 2. So you guys were drawn to this image on the card and the green Fuchsite. Alright, so I have already pulled some messages from Spirit, from the Oracle cards. We're going to look at those later. We're going to get a few now here to see what Spirit's guidance is for you today. This card. Ooh. This one and this one. few more cards for you guys. Let's see. Let's get one of these. Messages for pile number 1. What is Spirit's guidance? And let's do one of these. Thank you. Okay. Alright, you guys, let's see. So on this card here, this card is about relationships and how some relationships repeat in your life and some stay for longer amounts of times and have more meaning, longer duration, and some people are just there for, you know, a season, a small time frame of your life, because each person is, they serve as mirrors, they serve as teachers, guides. Some people teach us, you know, unfortunately in this realm here, we learn through relationships. We learn a lot about ourselves through the relationship we have with individuals. Some people we get along with, some people don't, you know, some people we perceive as our enemy. Some people are just, you know, rude and nasty for no reason. And some people end up being like your best friends. Some people become like your partners, your mates, your soulmates. And you end up seeing and coming across many people in your life that may remind you of somebody from your past. You know, it's almost like an echo, which is pretty wild, because like say you have like this really close relationship with like your best friend, and then as you get up older, you end up like moving far away from each other, and you don't have a really close relationship with them, but and you've moved somewhere else, and then this new area, this new town, you end up meeting or coming across somebody who has the same type of energy, and they remind you so much of this individual, you know, and it just makes you feel like it's just an easy connection, you know, and they remind you of this individual, and they may even have like similar characteristic traits, like even in their face, you know, it's just like, oh my God, you remind me of somebody in my life that was very near and dear, you know. It's just wild how it works that way in this realm, and it could be because there is a connection, like a soul connection. This individual may even be another aspect of that person's soul, you know, but that's a whole nother story, because there's different versions of you that exist and different parallel realities, and each of us is more than just one, you know. When you get into the spiritual teachings and stuff, we all belong to a soul, to a monad, and there's just lots and lots and lots of reflections of ourself, you know. And so a lot of these relationships that we end up having, sometimes it is like a mirror to the relationship that you have with yourself, and to use your relationships with others to mirror your own relationship that you have with yourself. So sometimes, like if you're constantly attracting people in your life that take advantage of you, that disrespect you, no matter what you do, you constantly are being mistreated, you know, and there's not this reciprocity of exchanging, of giving and take, you know. You feel like you're being taken advantage of, and those relationships, the reason why you keep experiencing them is because you haven't learned a lesson from those types of relationships. You know, they're teaching you something that you need to learn about yourself, and learning how to protect yourself, learning to invest in healthier relationships, ones who do see your light and do want to, you know, have a healthier relationship with you. And sometimes it's teaching you to have that relationship with yourself, you know. Are you giving too much and not receiving enough? And why aren't you receiving? Do you not think that you're worthy of receiving? Is there a little bit of low self-esteem, you know? There's a lot of introspection that we should practice when we're in relationships with others. And I don't think a lot of people take the time to reflect and get to know or to learn the patterns that repeat in their lives. Okay, so yours is something, we have something about relationships coming through for you guys. Let's see what else we have. We have Medusa. Jealousy leads to downfall. Okay. Yeah, see these individuals in the card? Look at the way that their eyes are kind of like, almost like looking sideways, you know? Like, You may have, let's see what else we have before I start getting too far in. We got a lot of green, so somebody might be green with envy about your light, about your beauty, about your life even. Ooh, we have the spider. Be meticulous and patient. Okay. What else? We have release and purge. Emotional clearing. Walking away. Toxicity bound. And what do we have? Higher self activation. Okay. Yeah, so there's something here about walking away from toxicity, relationships that aren't healthy, relationships that are very toxic. You may have people in your life who treat you poorly because they are jealous of you. They could be jealous of your, like I was saying, your life, your job, your career, your beauty, your light, just you as an individual. And that could be because they themselves don't have a healthier relationship with themselves. Or some of you may be feeling a little bit jealous of others and viewing their life and not understanding why, you know, maybe you feel like you have been left out or things haven't worked out for you. You know, with the spider here, the spider, they create a web, right, to attract and to catch their prey. So I feel like somebody's been telling you a lot of stories, making things up to try to take your light, to steal your happiness, to steal your joy, to keep you perhaps stuck or limited in the ways that you see things. Yeah, keeping you stuck. Oh, we have trauma bond. Okay, so yeah, there may be somebody in your life, right, who, you know, I was telling you with relationships, there's this, you can have this repeat pattern that you keep finding yourself in the same situation over and over and over again. And because there's a cord, something that's connecting you to this experience, to this person, right? It's limiting you. It's keeping you trapped in a cycle with this individual over and over again. And it's some perception, some belief system that needs to be let go of here. And I feel like Spirit wants you to see the truth, to see something. Your higher self is speaking to you and connecting to you and wanting you to awaken to the truth of this individual, to see their lives, to see how this is unhealthy, the relationship's unhealthy. It's time for you to walk away, to let go of this experience. And I can let you know, no matter how much you love somebody, like your love isn't going to be the thing that changes them. People have to want to change. People have to want to be better, do better, to see things from a different perspective. They want to grow. They want to heal. They want to treat you better. All those kinds of things. It shouldn't be an excuse. It shouldn't be like the blame game. It should be taking responsibility for actions, for words, for behaviors, all those things, and taking ownership and then changing and shifting and honoring and respecting and being loyal, all of those types of things. That's what you deserve. And that's where you have to get to that place, is being able to say, is to walk away and to say, and it's not, has nothing to do with like you not being good enough. You know what I mean? It's them. They don't feel good enough. And because they don't feel good enough, they are trying to make you feel like you're not worthy of them, where they have all the power in the relationship. And because they don't offer you love, they don't offer you respect, they don't give you that love that you're seeking from them, they're withholding it. And that therefore it gives them power over the relationship, power over you. Because you're constantly seeking their approval, you're constantly seeking their love, and they're withholding it. And so pretty much they're not going to give it to you. They may give it to you little bits here and there just to string you along like a fly in a, in the web that they're spinning. And they're glamoring you with thinking, making you feel like you're loved, but it's only short little blips here and there, right? It's not enough to sustain a loving, healthy relationship. And I feel like you know this. In your heart, you know this is true, but you don't have enough strength to be able to walk away because there's a feeling within that you're not good enough, or you'll feel guilty to walk away and say goodbye. And this is the thing, like they need that. You're in each other's life for a reason, to teach each other these lessons, okay? They need to learn how to be more empathic, to understand that their actions and the way that they treat somebody has consequences, that people aren't just going to keep tolerating and forgiving and understanding, yes, you had a, maybe a horrible time or a trauma, that you haven't been able to heal from, but I don't deserve for you to treat me like this. I wasn't the one who did this, and I've been patient, I've been waiting for you, I've been kind to you, I've been loving to you and forgiving to you, and you just continue to just repeat and use excuse after excuse, and you don't choose me. So it's time for me. I'm going to choose me. I'm going to love me. I'm going to give me the love that I'm searching for you, and to learn how not to seek love and validation outside of yourself. For you to tune into your heart and to awaken to your true self, to your purpose here. We have timeline shifts. So this is the past, and it's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to let go of these cycling relationships and experiences, and time to step into something new. Let's see, what do we have? Restore mind, body, spirit. True healing happens when you align your mind, body, and spirit and reconnect to your essence, okay? So I feel like you've been out of alignment with your truth, with who you are. Maybe you've stepped out of your truth in order to be in this relationship with this person. But I feel like your spirit's saying you need to purge, you need to cleanse, you need to let go of this experience. Let go of what didn't work out. Let go of this connection that you have, and become wiser to the game, right? Because this individual, they know how to manipulate you, they know the right words to say, they know the buttons to push, and they're just playing a game. They're not really being their authentic self. Their words and their actions don't align. They're not in an alignment with their truth. They are manipulative. They're playing a game, and they know how to work and manipulate you. And so it's time for you to change things up. And, I've always responded like this and always been very open. And I feel like you've been way too open in your heart. And it's time for you to set up healthy boundaries for yourself, to know your worth, to know that you're worthy and deserving of somebody who loves you, validates and reciprocates the type of love that you share. It's time for you to be on the receiving end, and learn how to receive. By you tuning into your heart and saying, why do I tolerate these types of individuals in my life? What about me feels less than, that I deserve less than, that I myself am not deserving? You know, what are you telling yourself? What are your belief systems? And going within and seeing the truth about these individuals and these relationships. We have thus one, journeys to the stars. There we go. All right, so you're going on a healing journey, pile number 2. Spirit's guidance is to go within and to connect to yourself and learn your truth. To protect yourself. To connect to your truth, your higher self. We have abundance, luckily, times ahead. Lucky times are ahead of you, along with good news, success, and prosperity. Okay. And then we have firecracker. Positive energy surrounds you. Love, joy, good fortune await. Okay, so I feel like once you go on this journey and you start being more selective about the people you allow into your life, you're going to open this door for new opportunity. You know, in abundance comes in so many different forms. This is abundance of support, friendship, laughter, joy, excitement, happy memories, you know, things that make you feel good. You know, and there's this celebration that's taking place on this card, and this coming together with a bunch of different individuals. You know, they're celebrating, congratulating. We have firecracker, you know, this is what lights you up, what makes you feel good, and to surround yourself with those types of individuals. People who make you feel good, not people who take from you, make you feel like you're less than. The energy exchange is very toxic, you know, they bring you down. And that's how you learn the difference between somebody who's good for you and somebody who's not, right? Somebody who's taking from you and somebody who's pouring into your cup. And you're wanting to shift out of this and move into this, right? I mean, look how dark this one is, except for your higher self here. And your higher self's wanting you to step into this light, to see the truth of the situation and to move out of this toxicity here, to purge yourself from those experiences with these types of individuals, and for you to move into alignment with your truth, with people who align to you, with people who recognize your light and your joy and what you have to offer. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have protection. Yep. They don't deserve you. And see, and that's the other thing. Once you start learning to say no, feel confident saying no, feel confident setting those boundaries, not allowing them to guilt you or to shame you or them to manipulate you. Once you catch on to the game that they're playing, you know what I mean? Oh my goodness, when you start to withdraw your energy, it starts to infuriate them. And then they want to start attacking you. How dare you not say yes? How dare you not just, you know, be the person that you've always been and let me get away with all this, these horrible things that I'm doing to you? How dare you set a boundary for yourself? No, no, because you're withdrawing your light, you're withdrawing your love, and they've been, you know, using you. They've been feeding off of it. They've been taking advantage of you, and you're like, dang it, now their resource is drying up, you know, which means they're going to have to go do some work and work somebody else. Because you've caught on to it, you know. Now, oh no, they know their worth. Oh no, they know their value. Crap, I can't take advantage of them anymore, you know. So the more you can love yourself and see your worth and your value, the less they're going to be able to take from you, you know. This is like pumping the brakes and saying, no, this well is dried up. There's no more, you know, taking advantage of me. No more easy pass. No, no. If you want this, you're going to have to put the work in, you know, because I know my worth and my value now. And I'm no longer going to tolerate you just saying these words and me taking you at your word, because you're a liar. Your actions don't back up your words. So Love yourself more so that they don't have any more pull on your energy. Fill your own cup. Loving yourself. Be strong. That's right. Learning to be independent, right? They don't have anything that you need, you know, and that's the thing. Step back and reflect and take a look at the relationship as a whole. What is it that you feel that you're going to miss from this relationship, right? Are you just codependent? Are you afraid of being alone? Are you afraid of, you know, putting yourself out there? Get in touch and understand what it is that, why these relationships have been repeating in your life. What is it that you believe about yourself that these people are taking advantage of, right? Because for whatever reason, they're seeing, and you know, it's sad. I've seen this happen several times. I had one woman in my rock shop, and she used to come in all the time, and she would say, just complain about her life, and she would always choose these men who were, you know, they just didn't work. They were, you know, just would take advantage of her, just use her, you know, for intimacy. And she had children and everything too. Their power was getting cut off. Their water bill was due, and they didn't have any running water. They were having to have their neighbors help, and she would just come on there all the time and just, you know, woe is me, sad story. And she kept choosing these loser partnerships over and over again. And they would always, you know, just leave her, and she'd find somebody new, and she would just, like I was saying, she'd come in, and then she'd say, I didn't have any money for my kids for Christmas. And one of the women in my group, she ended up sending her some money, and this woman ended up buying like some kind of like Nintendo game and something else for the kids, you know. I can't remember what it was, but and then she would just, you know, she ended up being herself, almost becoming like the men, feeling completely powerless, inactive. She herself just, it looked really bad on her that she was choosing these men who were meant to help support her and uplift her, and she herself couldn't even do that for herself, you know, because she was making those poor choices for even not only herself but for her children as well. Like she was choosing what she thought she was worth, you know, choosing less than. And sometimes it's because she was afraid to be alone, so she was just willing to take anything and anyone, you know, because she herself didn't feel like she had any value. And it was so sad, you know. And I see that so many times in so many different types of relationships. And it doesn't necessarily just mean, you know, with a partner. This can be even with like your siblings, with your family, you know, just constantly feeling like you're never getting their approval, you're never good enough, nothing you do is ever good enough, never right, or you should have done it like this, you know what I mean? There's always this negative energy, negative feedback, nothing positive, always just take and shove you down. And that's how you know that these relationships, that what are you getting from them? You can love people at a distance, and they don't need to be in your immediate life. You can still have love for them, wish them well. Don't wish anything bad on them, but know what's good for you and what's not good for you, you know? This takes from me, this depletes me, this puts me in a negative mindset, and I don't want to be around that energy. I deserve better than that. I deserve people who support me, that uplift me, that energize me, they excite me, they inspire me, they root for me, and they cheer me on. Those are the people I want in my life, and you deserve to have that, okay? And you need to, that's how you need to build yourself up, and don't allow anybody or anyone to guilt you, okay? Ooh, we got new beginnings. Let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell. Look at this transformation coming through with this butterfly. New beginnings. We have number 44. The angels are supporting you and protecting you as you build this solid foundation for yourself, okay? With yourself. Connecting to your truth and becoming more resilient. Leaning on divine support when you need it to give you strength, okay? And we have beauty. I have a form which is divine. I allow what is within to shine. There we go. Don't hide your light. Whoever this individual is, they may be so jealous of you, and it may make you feel like, you know, you're not worthy or not good enough, or how dare you shine your light so bright, you know what I mean? Who do you think you are? Because you have such a beautiful heart, and you're such a beautiful, kind soul, you know, and sometimes people, when they're in a dark place, and they see your light and your beauty and your happiness, and they are the ones that are jealous of it, and so they almost kind of like attack you, like, how dare you shine your light, how dare you be so loving and kind, you know, what makes you so great and so wonderful. And it doesn't mean that you haven't struggled and you haven't been through hardship. It just means that you have been through that, and you understand and you empathize with somebody who has gone through hardship and who struggles and who's been through trauma, because you've experienced it, but you didn't allow that pain to take you over, you know, or to dwell in it for as long as these people are allowing themselves to be a victim. You know, you didn't sit in victimhood. You may have at a moment, you may have allowed yourself to have pity and take pity and feel victimized, because we all have. But you overcame. You stood up. You still have love in your heart. You know, you're very strong, pile number 2, and you need to see how strong you are. And you need to see how loving and kind and beautiful you are. And you deserve somebody who appreciates that. We have trust. Regardless of the outcome, I am taken care of. The angels ask you not to worry about the resolution of the current situation. Instead of trying to solve the problem with sheer force, trust that you will get exactly what you need. Okay? Spirit's saying to trust that no matter what happens, you are being guided. There's new beginnings for you. Trust and surrender. You are on a journey to the stars, a journey to your truth, to your purpose. And you are being guided. This is like Spirit's asking you to take a trust fall. Okay? Don't force yourself to stay in a relationship because you feel like you're stuck and you have nowhere to go. Spirit is saying you do, and doors will open up for you. You just have to take the step to move on, to move forward, and to trust. Yeah, you have anxiety. I inhale peace and exhale worry. The angels come to comfort you and remind you that you're not alone, and that assistance is accessible to you if you need it. Take it as a message that you need to make some time for yourself to unwind and concentrate on self-care. Let go of what you cannot change, okay? Spirit says to love yourself. Take care of yourself. Let these individuals go. They will have to fend for themselves, and they need to, because that's the only way they're going to learn. They are dependent on you to give them light, to give them love, and then they just take. And you're left feeling drained, feeling unloved, taken advantage of, unseen, unappreciated. Is because you, without realizing it, you're allowing it. You're saying, yes, I deserve this. And you can keep taking from me. You don't have to give me anything back. And anytime you do have that expectation, there's a how dare you, and there's, you know, they rebuttal. They're like, they'll make an excuse, and they'll put you down and put you in your place. No. I'm the only one who gets to receive here, not you. So Spirit's telling you to let go, to trust, to heal, take care of yourself. It's time for you to put yourself first now, to see your light. It's time for you to transform, to heal, get in touch with your truth, reconnect to your own higher self. You know, it's time for you to move on. There's something new coming in for you too, pile number 2. 2. All right, so we have 444 as well. 444 is saying that you are completely surrounded by the angels, and that you're going to be guided through whatever it is that you're making a choice, whatever you're going to focus on. The Spirit's guiding you through the situation. The angels are here protecting you. All right, let me get you some closing messages from Spirit. What do we have? We have, I am open and receptive. I believe in myself. I say affirmations that reflect what I really deserve. Okay? So Spirit wants you to work on your positive affirmations. I am loving. I am deserving. I am worthy. I am receiving love. I am deserving of receiving love. I believe in myself. I trust myself. I trust in Spirit to guide me along the path. I trust the path that I am walking. I trust my higher self. I am restoring my mind, body, and spirit. I am healing. I am attracting healthy relationships. I am deserving of healthy relationships. I am lovable. I am worthy of love. I am attracting my soulmate. Okay, we had two come over. What do we have? We have, I am connected to all life. I am spirit. I am light. I am energy. I am vibration. I am color and love. I am connected with every person on the planet and with all of life. So I feel like this one is saying that you are never alone, all right? And taking this time out to be in love with yourself, to connect to your heart, to connect to your truth, and not to see yourself as being alone, to yourself as being surrounded by all of life, by all of spirit, by everything, by the divine. The divine exists in everything, and you are connected to it all because you are a part of it all. You are never alone. That's beautiful. And then we have, I am in the right place. Wherever I go and whomever I meet, I find my own love and my highest good waiting for me. Ooh, that's awesome. So wherever you go, pile number 2, and whoever you meet, you're going to find your love being reflected to you, all right? And it's going to be, and sometimes you're going to see it being reflected from these toxic people to show you that you don't value yourself. You don't love yourself enough because you're tolerating less than your worth. So you're going to attract people who make you feel like you aren't worthy because you yourself aren't setting those boundaries to protect yourself. You're not saying, whoa, that's so disrespectful and you're not going to treat me like that. I deserve better. Because you haven't set those boundaries for your heart. You're too giving, too open, too understanding. And so they're like, oh, well, you're teaching me how to treat you and you're tolerating it. So I'm going to keep on doing it, keep pushing those buttons until you start standing up for yourself. And then see who stays around when you start standing up for yourself, when you start setting those boundaries. And if they don't want to respect your boundaries, then you know that they weren't in it for the right reasons, right? The relationship only served them when you were beneath them, when they can just take from you. But once you start saying, no, I'm not giving anymore, until you start showing up for me, and if you can't show up for me, then it's time for me to move on, all right? All right, you guys, that is your message from Spirit today. Thank you all so much for joining me in the temple. Please like and subscribe. Comment below if this reading resonated with you in any way. Appreciate you all so much for being here. I'm sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Welcome to your reading pile number 3. So you guys were drawn to... That's so funny. I just twisted this a second ago. You guys were drawn to this fluorite, which is like a very pale green. And this Carn. I've already pulled some oracle cards for you guys before the reading. We'll look at those after we pull some now. So let's take a look at what Spirit's guidance is for you. Pile number 3. What messages, what guidance does Spirit have for you today? Pile number 3. Oh my goodness, I just got a preview. Let's get one more of these. Woo! Way too many. Oh, okie dokie. This deck is ready to give you some messages. Let's see what else is coming in. Messages. Okay. Things are a little, I don't know, have things been a little all over the place, a little chaotic, a little jumpy? I feel like there's a shift coming for you guys. Number, yeah, because when I was pulling this card, I was holding the decks like this here, and I usually shuffle from top to bottom, not side to side. And this crystal was kept leaning to the left. So we have a lot of shifting taking place for you guys. Let's see what else. Spirit, what is your guidance for pile number 3? 2. Everybody else got 1 of those. Let's see what else. I got just 2 more decks, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at what your guidance is. Pile number 3. You know, in fluorite, especially this one, I feel like there's some clarity coming in for you. And since it's green, it may have to do with issues of the heart. Okay. These are your messages. Alright, so you were drawn to this card, and this card is about time. So, I feel like it's also about the way we see things. And I feel like you may be feeling like your time is running out. Because we have the hourglass here. And it's been flipped upside down. So it's almost like a shift, a new beginning, a new phase of life. It also reminds me of the infinity symbol here, a new beginning, new opportunities. But there's only so much time to jump on board with this, right? Like the train is taking off. There's something that needs to shift, and there's a certain amount of time available for that. We have card number 44, grounding, foundations, structure, stability. Maybe there's a shift in your foundation, in your home life. Let's take a look at your other cards. This is the one I saw, the hourglass. Look at that. Time is of the essence. Okay, so we have a lot of time coming in here. And they're letting you know there's a limited amount of time, okay? What else? We have the Knight, triumph over adversity. We have the King, authority and diplomacy. And the Minstrel, let your intentions be known. Okay. So the Knight coming through brings a bit of, you know, accomplishment here. And we have the King, you know, authority, taking action, moving forward, setting those intentions. Okay, so something is about manifesting here. There's a certain amount of time. There's a window of opportunity to manifest something here. And we have this Egyptian energy coming through. I was feeling a little bit of starseed energy when I was pulling these cards out. Let's see what the other cards say. Ooh, we have the sun with strength, empowerment, heart chakra opening, compassion, happiness, truth revealed. You're about to see the truth of something. Time for change. Time for something new. Time for your blessings. Time for your ship to come in. What else? Triumph over adversary and authority and diplomacy. So there maybe, you may have been doing a lot of cord cutting, a lot of battling the shadow, overcoming challenges, healing through traumas, setting healthy boundaries for yourself, stepping into your divine power, your authority to manifest, to set intention, to have the life of your dreams, to have your wishes come true, to have your heart's desire. Let your intentions be known. It is time for you now to come into the light. So you may have been in the phase of battling the shadows, looking towards the past, overcoming your shadow self, your fears, your doubts, shattering those illusions, coming into your truth, coming into your power. And now you're stepping into the light. Look at this light coming in. A new path, a new beginning, a shift in fate. External party situations. Okay, overcoming some karmic lessons here. This could be feeling anything relating to work, your sense of power, your sense of authority, relationships, your sense of love for self, appreciation. This can also be overcoming family, generational karma, and patterns and programming, and societal expectations, obligations, all those things. And you standing in your truth and knowing who you are, coming into your light, there's this cleansing that has taken place. The tide is shifting. Your blessings are coming in because of this work that you've done. Release the resentment loop. Resentment isn't power, it's poison. Stop replaying the story. You're free to choose peace. Okay? So this is the choice. You have the power to choose to repeat these experiences, to repeat those lessons, to experience what you've already experienced and gain more insight, more wisdom, more healing, or to choose to step into the light and to see the truth. To set your intentions to begin a new cycle, to stop looking at the past and to move forward. You see, we have these two individuals. This one he's wielding the sword. He's facing the spears, facing the shadows, facing the patterns that have been repeating. And then we have the king coming into your authority, into your power over those fears, over those illusions, over those wounds. And then we have this minstrel. I'm not sure what he actually is. What is a minstrel? Is this a musician, Hang on just a second. Let me see if I can find this guidebook. I don't use this oracle deck very much. So just bear with me, guys, while I get the book down. You guys know I have so many different oracles because you never know which oracle has the message for you. I may have to pause the video. Give me just a second. Okay, I got it. The minstrel is a poet musician who sings heartfelt ballads and songs of good cheer. He represents our harmonious union as well as musical and artistic creativity. He professes his thoughts and intentions for all to hear, but has a tendency to have an unrealistic outlook and to wear his heart on his sleeve. Okay, so what I feel coming through here is there is something that you're meant to manifest from your heart. There's some desire, some intention, something that needs to be spoken, said out loud. This can also be what you needed to release, you know. I feel like with this one here, how this individual, he's knelt down and he's holding this like fire in his hand, and there's these like cloud of smoke. So perhaps maybe working with the fire element, because we had a lot of masculine energy here, to transmute any energies, maybe do some saging, cleansing rituals, maybe write some things that you want to release and let go of, and maybe, you know, burning it up, setting it on fire. Of course, practice all safety precautions, but this is about releasing and setting your intentions, you know, setting yourself free, but then setting those intentions to create a shift, a new beginning for yourself. And I feel like you're being guided by spirit to act now. Let your intentions be known. The sun and strength. Release the resentment loop. There may be something that needs to be communicated to someone. Something that needs to be spoken, said out loud, so that you can feel this release. And you know, it might not even be something that you speak to somebody. Like I was saying, it may be something that you need to write down so that you can release it. Something that needs to be, you know, doing when we're doing these fire rituals or water rituals, they are symbolic. It's a physical gesture and intention that you are doing something physically here to represent something symbolically to spirit, that you're ready to move on, that you're ready to release this and let this go, you know, and speaking your intentions, saying them out loud so that you can release them. And if you have a friend, somebody who you trust that's very close to you, you know, find somebody that you can confide in to help you say it out loud so it's no longer holding any kind of power over you, you know, and keeping you stuck in a past or keeping you stuck in a situation where you feel limited. You know, it's time to free yourself. I feel like maybe you felt that you just keep repeating, you know, over and over the same lessons or the same pattern, and it's time to free yourself from having to be in this loop, you know, to set yourself free from these experiences. See the karmic reflection. Every person you meet reflects something within yourself. Learn from what they mirror back to you. Well, these three readings all had very similar messages in them. Very much about releasing and letting go and working on the ways that you see yourself, the way that you love yourself, and setting those intentions to release the patterns, the relationships, the connections, the things that keep repeating, and to recognize that there's a lesson to learn here, and that you are at the center, and that there's something that's being mirrored to you that you might not have seen before. And it's time for you to shine your light, go within, connect, face your fears, stand in your truth and in your power, and to release anything that's holding you back, anything that's preventing you from moving forward and seeing the light of who you are. Anything that's blurring your vision and preventing you from knowing how much you are loved. And the thing is like, we tend to look outside of ourselves for people to mirror back to us our worthiness and our value. And because we feel like we don't have it within ourselves, you know, if we didn't get it from, you know, parents or family or society or friends and relatives, whatever, your partner, you're saying, I don't have it within me, you know, and so I need to get it, and I'm looking for somebody to give it to me, right? And no matter where you look, nobody's giving you love, nobody's giving you value, nobody's giving you self-esteem, you know, what you feel like you are worthy of. You're not receiving it from anybody. And that's the thing. It's like, it's something that has to come from within. You have to shine your light within. You have to put your love and fill your own cup, fill your heart with your love. I love myself. I see myself. I see my worth. I see my value. I know my heart. I know my intentions. And I know I'm worthy of good things. I know I'm worthy of loving people, having healthy relationships. You know, I am worthy of this manifestation. Whatever it is that you're wanting to bring into your reality, you have to know that you're worthy. You have to believe in yourself that you can have it and that you're worthy of having it. And these individuals, these experiences, they reflect to us the work that we need to do within. We need to go within and see, okay, well, I feel like I don't have, so that means I need to give it to myself. I can't get it from outside of here. Everything starts from within. You have to go within and grow it within your own being, and then it gets reflected in the world around you. And if you see that you're repeating, you know, patterns, and you keep getting the same experiences, the same relationships, it's because you're making the same choices over and over again. You have to start changing things up, you know, and you'll get different results. It's time to shift. Your 11-year-old self. So what this card is about, what is it that you wanted to, you know, how did you see yourself as an adult when you were 11? Were there experiences that you went through at this age that maybe these patterns developed? Maybe this belief system about yourself and about the world developed? What were your ideas? What were your passions? What were your thoughts, your beliefs, you know, because this is the time frame, I feel, with this 11-year-old where this all began, where this journey began. What is that? We have the moon and the stars, and I'm not sure what he is standing on exactly. I can't even tell what this being is. There's a puffy cloud, and I can't even tell what this thing is. It's coming up out of what looks like, you know, clouds in the sky. I don't know. Maybe this has to do with your wishes and your hopes. Maybe somebody made you feel like you couldn't achieve them. Let's see what else. We have the Chariot. All right, we have victory here. Charge ahead with confidence and stay strong and focused. Okay. 6. Yes, it is time to move on. It's time to shift. It's time to let this go. Time to stand in your power and your truth. And then we have love. Love surrounds all of your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. Look at that. Okay. So continue conquering any fears that you have about not being good enough, right? So that you can break free from any karmic connections. Stand in your truth and your authority. Set your intentions. I feel like, what were your dreams? What were your desires at this age, you know? Because this is like, at that age, there's unlimited possibilities, you know? We believe in ourselves. We think that we can accomplish anything, and this is what you need to get back to. Okay, we have sadness, ideation. These are ideas, plans, and protection. Okay. So I feel like, yeah, these wounds came from your childhood here. I think that's what you've been needing to express, or that's what you've been healing, is working on that. There may have been somebody in your past that made you feel like, you know, your dreams weren't possible, that you were setting your hopes too high. And that's the thing. Spirit wants us to dream big and to believe in ourselves, to believe in the impossible. We have study. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. Okay. So I feel like this is, with study, you're going to be learning something new. Or with study here, this could be you spending more time in reflection, getting to know yourself, you know, understanding your beliefs, these patterns, where they come from, why they're there, what they're teaching you. You know, what messages they have, what's ready to be released, what's ready to be seen. Where do you need to shift your reflection? Where do you need to have more clarity? Where do you need to have more, where you need to dream bigger? Where you need to love yourself more? Where you need to forgive more? And then we have authenticity. Who I truly am is good indeed. I am authentic in thought, word, and deed. That's beautiful. So authentic. This is, yeah, getting to know the truth of who you are. Now is the time to go within and to know who you are. That's why we have study coming out. Getting to know yourself, know your beliefs, know your fears, know your powers, know your weaknesses, know your strengths because of them. You know, we have to experience, you know, this is the world of duality, the world of polarity. So we have to experience the opposite of something in order to appreciate and understand its partner, you know, its opposite. So we have, you know, night and day. And if we didn't have night, we wouldn't know the light. If we didn't have the darkness, you know, we wouldn't be able to see that flicker in the distance, you know, or see the flicker in the sky. If we didn't have, you know, light, we wouldn't know the good in the world. We wouldn't know, you know, the sunrise, the beginning of a new day. Everything has purpose and everything has meaning. And you have to study yourself. I feel Spirit wants you to get to know who you are and to reconnect to this version of yourself here before, you know, the world got to you and made you not believe in yourself and not see yourself through your truth, through your own eyes, through your heart, and to reconnect to your heart. Aww. We have abundance. Abundance is my essence, my foundation, and my being. The angels are telling you that you already possess the power to have everything you ever dreamed of and more. When you cultivate true joy, love, peace, passion, purpose, and freedom inside of yourself, you'll see those things reflected back to you in your outside world. See that? You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you're worthy and deserving of it. You have to fill your cup with those belief systems, with those affirmations, with those positive thoughts, you know, so that they can be reflected to you in the world around you. Whatever you believe about yourself, however you see yourself, however you believe the world is, however you believe, you know, it's all about your belief systems. the seeds that you nurture and grow within yourself, you know, what's in your soul garden. And what have you been watering by paying attention to it? You know, wherever your mind is, wherever your focus is, that's what you're lending your energy to. And without realizing it, you're nurturing that belief system by focusing on it, by believing in it, by observing it even. So it's time to shift your focus, shift your attention, go within, get to know yourself, study your emotions, study your thoughts, you know. Where did that thought come from? Where did this emotion come from? Why did I say that? Why do I feel this way? Is this my true feelings? Or is this something that somebody told me and I believed it about myself, you know? But that's not how I see me. That's not how I see the world. You know, it's clearing out your, you know, your lens, refining your reality, refining your truth, getting to the core of who you are. So that once you pull off all them layers that aren't you, and you finally get to see who you really are, and you remember who you really are, the world is going to shift for you. You're going to have your heart's desire. Everything that you've been wanting to bring into your world, into your reality, all your dreams, your hopes, all of them are going to come online for you because you've taken the time out to focus on them, to remember that they're there. They're just waiting for you to remember them. Because all this other stuff is just, you know, it's just all mind clutter. Think of like, you know, I love the computer analogy. Like you have all of these old, outdated software running in the background here. All these old beliefs, all these old thoughts, all these old fears, you know, and things that are of the past that you just keep reusing and recycling over and over again, and they're way outdated. And so you need to go within and clear out those old programs, those old belief systems, so those old thoughts, and it's time to, you know, cleanse, purge, and purify them, and to insert upload new software. I'm going after my dreams. I'm worthy, I'm lovable, I'm deserving, I am attracting opportunities into my life. I am on my highest timeline. I am being guided by my higher self. You know, all those things. I'm excited about my future. I'm moving forward. I'm releasing. I'm letting go of the things that are holding me back. You know, I'm worthy. I'm deserving. I know who I am. You know, all those kinds of things. And anytime you have something comes up that is from the past, you know, you just keep reinserting my new belief system. I've learned all I can from those experiences. I'm ready to move on. I understand you were teaching me this because you were showing me what I don't have within my own belief system, and I need to shift that. I need to insert this. I don't feel loved, so I'm going to love myself. I don't feel worthy. I'm going to remind myself how worthy I am. I'm going to be my biggest cheerleader. I'm going to root for me. I'm going to believe in myself. You know, those types of things. It's how you need to go within and connect and see where you don't feel full of love, full of light, full of belief, full of the sun. Ooh, and you have anxiety. I inhale peace and exhale worry. The angels come to comfort you and to remind you that you're not alone and that assistance is accessible to you if you need it. Take it as a message that you need to make some time for yourself to unwind and to concentrate on your self-care. Let go of what you cannot change, okay? So Spirit wants you to let go of any worries, any fears that you have, any anxieties that you have. Trust that you're being guided, that the angels are with you, supporting you, protecting you as you go on this healing journey. Let go of what you cannot change, okay? The past is the past, right? And we can't change anything that anybody or that we have done. The only thing we can do is understand how maybe things we could have maybe, I want to say, you know, because you don't want to live with regret or anything like that, you know. It's learning that where let's say you were being bullied and picked on, right? And when you look back on it, sometimes we say, I wish I would have stood up for myself and said, I wish I'd have, leave me alone, or, fought back, whatever the case may be. But there was a reason why you didn't, right? And so we always will go, I wish I did. But now, because of that, it has taught you how not to tolerate, people who want to take from you and bully you around or put you down, and see the truth of that, right? Somebody who's being bullied, or somebody who is a bully, is somebody themselves who are being bullied by somebody else. And so they don't know what to do with that energy. They just try to put it on someone else so they don't have it, right? Well, this is what I'm taught to do with my anger and my rage. I don't know what to do with it, so I'm gonna, take it out on somebody else. And what you can do is not tolerate it. Whereas when you were younger, maybe you felt like you didn't have a lot of control, or maybe you had empathy for this person. But now as an adult, you can decide who's in your environment, who you're around. You can walk away from these people. You can stand up for yourself. You can tell them off, whatever makes you feel good. You know what I mean? I'm not condoning violence by any means. Nobody should be touching anybody. But there's definitely, people who love to try to shame other people and boss people around. And you don't have to tolerate that at all. You can stand up for yourself and say, no, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm my own person. I know my worth. I know my value. I know my power. And, that's just not going to work for me. So, and it's learning to set those healthy boundaries and standing up for yourself. That's going to help you overcome any of those past childhood or any, patterns that you may be going to. This is just an example. I'm not saying that's what you went through, but, apply this where you can in your life. Okay. All right, I'm going to get you some final messages. Pile number 3, we have, all my relationships are enveloped in a circle of love. So I have a wonderful, harmonious relationship with everyone where there is mutual respect and caring on both sides. And that's what you're looking for, right? You're looking for that balance. And that also has to be where you are balanced within. You're not betraying yourself and your heart out of your love for somebody else. You're not going to, seek the approval and validation. You want to feel like, you're respected too, and you have, nobody's trying to dictate how you're living your life and say, well, if you have that job, you're going to disrespect the family. Or, we want you to follow in our footsteps. How, let's say they own, a business that's been in the family for like 10 years. And they want you to take it over, and you're like, but I want to be a writer. And they're like, no, you got to be a doctor, And if you're not a doctor, then, we're just going to shame you and put you down and, make you feel like you're not good enough the whole time. That's, you don't need that type of love, right? It needs to be mutual respect. So, and it's learning to seek that in all of your relationships. And anybody who doesn't offer that to you, it's time to set up some healthy boundaries and distance yourself from those people. All right, I follow my inner wisdom. I am at peace with my own being. I love myself and trust that I am making the right choices. Woo! Okay, don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself. Let go of any fears that you have. Trust in your heart. Listen to your inner guidance, your inner compass. Listen to your emotions, how you feel, like when you're around somebody, what do they make you feel like? Did they make you feel safe? Did they make you feel confident? Did they make you feel secure, loved? Did they give you, energy that makes you feel inspired? Pay attention to how the people feel, how the energy feels when you're around individuals. Because somebody who doesn't want the best for you, or somebody who's, got negative thoughts or feelings about you, you feel them. You feel it coming off of them. You feel somebody who's not happy and not supportive, or somebody who's jealous, or somebody who's angry or annoyed. You feel the energy. It's trusting your intuition, trusting your heart, believing in yourself that you can make the right choice for yourself first. What feels good to me? What makes me feel loved? What makes me feel appreciated? What makes me feel like I'm validating my worth and my value and my dreams, my 11-year-old self? How can I make myself feel supported, loved, and, you know, appreciated, and make sure that's the first thing first. Am I stepping out of myself and saying yes when I really want to say no? You know, there's an issue there. Why do you feel like you need to say yes? Well, because I feel guilty. But why? Why do you feel guilty? You can politely say, thank you for thinking about me, but I really don't have the time for that at the moment. I have other obligations. I appreciate it. You know, there's ways of saying no politely and feeling comfortable and confident saying no when you really want to say no. Okay? All right, pile number 3. Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and close your reading down. Thank you all so much for being here in the temple with me today. I hope this reading helps you in many, many ways. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story, or let me know that this reading resonated with you all. I'm sending you lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day.